and we are live. Hello.
Hello.
So, welcome to the very first live show for Ember in the Ash Along. I'm still surprised I can get this out of my mouth without stuttering. Welcome everyone to the first live show. As you can see, we are all here. All of the links to my fellow co-hosts are down below. In case, shall we do a little bit of an introduction round so everybody knows who we are?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the first one that makes sense. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. So I'm Esmay. I'm from Bookish Buddies, as you can see, and Paradise of Pages over on Twitter. And I think I'm the only one who's doing the rereading at this point. So I am rereading the first 3 books. I shouldn't have said that I could get Ember in the Ash Along out of my mouth in one go. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys are thinking, and maybe it's best I gave you over to Steff.
Hi guys, my name's Steff from the channel Coffee Over Apples. This is my first time reading An Ember in the Ashes, and what do? I combine booktube and arttube, and I read mostly horror, sci-fi, and fantasy, and I also talk about manga and anime on my channel. So that's me, and I'll pass you down to Jane.
Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Jane from the Bookaholic. It's also my first time reading the books, and I'm so excited because I wanted to read the series for so long. So yes, I'm just so excited that I'm finally reading everything. Yes, Sasha.
Oh, did you freeze?
Oh no, not again. Sasha's having some technical difficulties. I think we'll have to miss her in a bit, and then she'll probably come back.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing you all know Sasha, and she can introduce herself when things actually work. Oh, that is so. I'm so sad.
Yes.
That said, I saw that someone was here. Oh, yeah, there's
yeah.
Sasha.
Froze again.
Oh, no. Sasha, can you hear us?
I'm back. It's gonna be so fun tonight. I'm so sorry. But yeah, hi, I'm Sasha. As you can see, I have a lot of problem with my internet, so I'm sorry for that. But it's out of my control. But yeah, Sasha from the White Sasha. So this is my first time I'm reading that series, and I'm the kind of person who needs read-alongs in order to start a series and finish it, because I always feel intimidated by long series. But yeah, I mostly read fantasy and sci-fi, and that's it. I have a booktube. Here you go.
I do want to add, unless it's the Wayward Children series, because those you seem to be able to read completely.
Oh yeah. No, if you watch any of my video, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in every single one of my videos.
I still need to read that. It's on my highly anticipated.
I read almost all of them, so you can be proud of me. And I think Sasha's frozen again. But I thought I would say hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
So today we are discussing An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is my very wonky copy from years ago, but I thought we could start off by talking about what we thought of the book, because I feel like we have some negative and also a bit more, mostly positive, but then some negative reviews. So shall I just start because I've already read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So for me, this was a reread, as I mentioned, and it has just only confirmed to me how much I love this series. So I gave it 5 stars. I loved it a lot. So I think we'll talk about it more in depth, but yeah.
Jane, do you want to go next?
Yes, I can. Okay, so it was my first time reading it, and I gave it 4 stars. I really loved it. Like 4 stars for me is a really, really good rating, because I don't give 5 stars easily. And I especially think that this is like a very well-made book. Like the plot was well made, the characters were really well made, and like overall, I really enjoyed the book, and I really wanted to read the second, like, and the rest of the series. The start was a little bit slow, but like this is the first book in a series, so it just got more intense, which is good.
So
Yes.
I actually had the opposite experience. I'm sorry. I really tried. I really wanted to love this so much, but I actually ended up, I think I'm gonna give this 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. Like it wasn't bad. It was, I can see why everyone loves it and why it has a lot of hype behind it. I think it's just a personal taste thing.
So
I
it's
get-
basically it's not the book, it's you. No.
I would
No,
say
no.
mostly, I would say 80% is me, not the book.
I mean, we'll get into that a bit later. I think I'm not sure if Sasha is coming back. She's coming in and out. So I do know that Sasha absolutely loved the book. So I do want to say that, or at least that's what she told me. So I hope she hasn't changed her mind in between. Otherwise,
you know which rating she gave?
I think she gave it 5 stars, but something along those lines. I'm not completely sure. I think she actually mentioned that she was loving it. So if she comes back, she can say a bit more about that. I see that a lot of other people also really loved it. Did you read it twice, like in this month? Because that is very nice. That's
you loved it. That's great.
Wow.
I've never done that. I'm not really big on rereading books, but I've never actually like sat there and read a book twice in the same month. I should do that. That sounds like a nice experience.
I didn't read a book, I think, for years. I'm not the kind who read books usually. And I want to read more books, but like I just want something new. I can go to the old ones.
I mean, I wish I could say the same, but let's move on. I saw 4 stars. I mean, that's a pretty good rating.
That's still really good. I feel like 3 stars is not bad either. Like 3 stars is like middle of the road.
Also for me, 3 stars is like a nice book, a book that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And 4 stars is like amazing. Was so fun.
And then 5 stars is like God tier.
Yes, 5 stars is like perfection.
Your all-time favorite. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I see another 5 star. Okay, so it's not in 1 month. Also, welcome back, Sasha. I think hopefully no.
Hopefully soon. Oh no.
Does that mean you'll be rereading book 2 then for next month? Because that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Okay. It means that something cool is going to happen in the second book. I'm trying to guess.
No, I meant good. Like that's very cool. That's what but it kept like it went into crawl. Anyway, I remember almost nothing from the second book, so honestly I can't tell you. That said, shall we go into the world building first?
Yes, it's a good place to start.
All right. Because I mean, I have very strong opinions, but I would also love to see what you guys.
So you want
thought.
to start with your strong opinions?
No. You guys can go first this time.
Okay. So hey, Sasha.
I'm gonna try one more time. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna be in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. So Sasha, what you thought about the book? You loved it?
I actually really enjoyed it. So I gave it 4 stars, and I found it very quick to read. Very I loved the 2 point of views, and every time I finished one chapter, I wanted to read the next chapter from that character, and same for the other chapter, etc., etc. So I read it, I think, in 2 sittings. So I really ate that book, and I was not expecting to actually love it that much. So that was good.
Okay, so basically we all loved it except Steff.
So maybe then inserting world building, it's a good idea if Steff starts.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Okay, yes, I'm very, very
Oh, I feel like
interested
such a
to hear
party
your
crasher.
opinion.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the world building wasn't enough for me. I guess like this was a very character driven book. And I'm not a very character driven reader. I'm more of a plot
Mm,
and like world building. And I feel like I wanted more descriptive language of the world. Like there wasn't enough for my taste. Like my imagination felt like it was filling in a lot of gaps as to what the world should look like. Because when they were going on different things and they were saying, oh, now we're in this mountainous area, or now we're looking over and there's dunes and things like that. I wanted more of that in the beginning to set me up as to how the lay of the land is. But I feel like we learned about it through the story as the characters were interacting, and that's just not my taste. Because I felt like by the time that we figured out what it was supposed to look like, I had already established in my head the map. And I'm like, okay, my map is wrong. I have to keep readjusting it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yeah. I mean, it really depends on taste, because I personally really enjoyed that. I felt as if the Empire and like the it's not called the Institute, like the I can't get to the word now. That's embarrassing. Their school thing, basically.
Academy.
Yeah, that's thank you. Yeah. Mind. It's warm. But I felt like that one was really, really clear in the way that it looked. And as for the trials that they had, I really felt like you could fill in a lot of gaps, but I really enjoyed that because it felt like a sort of almost like a trial in sort of like the Maze Runner-ish, where you can fill in a lot of the gaps yourself, which is something I did really enjoy, but I 100% get what you mean by saying that I missed some of that sort of image.
Okay, so for me, first, I wanted to say a few things first. First of all, I didn't read the book in English, so I may like use different names or something. So just tell me if I'm using something wrong. And I'm actually also a really plot-driven reader, which was like really surprising for me when I read this book. The first 100 pages were the hardest for me to read, because I also felt like it was really slow. And I can really agree with Steff, because I think that the world building was the part that I didn't really enjoy in this book. Usually I'm not really enjoying plots in the army or military or stuff like this, because I live in a really heavy military country, so I have enough of it like in my real life. And because of that, like I felt that there isn't enough description on how everything works, like in the academy and the military. Like I felt it isn't really a real military, if you can understand. Now, yes, like I felt I really loved the fantasy aspect of the world building. Like I was really surprised, because I knew that there is going to be some kind of fantasy, but I wasn't sure how it's going to work. And I really loved how everything was implemented like for this world. I really loved the fantasy part, but the military part, I didn't really love it. And yes, like I wanted to see more, especially like for me, the most boring part of the book was the two first trials. Like I loved Elias' POV until then. And then like the two first trials they were okay. I understand why. Why she wrote them, but they were a little bit boring to me. Like I just wanted to be over them. Yes.
Which one was the trial? I forget what they were called, but the one where they were in the dream and Elias was seeing all the people. He was
the second one.
I actually really liked that one. That one of the three, I think that one was the most interesting.
I thought that was the second one, right? I think the first one was the sort of the battleship thing.
The dead people, when he saw like all the dead people, was the first one. When he saw all the people he killed, it was the first one.
Okay.
And the second one was like something with the fantasy creatures, and like they tried to kill them. And yes, And like the fourth one also was nice, but it was so like before it even started, I knew what's going to happen. Like it was so predictable. Okay, I read it in Hebrew. Here is my copy in Hebrew, yes, because I don't know, like they were translated to my native language, so I just tried to read it.
You
in
know
my
what? I'd
native
be
language.
really interested, Jane, to see from you a video of like reading the same book in Hebrew and English and seeing
Yeah.
if there's any kind of difference.
So actually, I'm currently reading a fourth book in a series. Hey, Sasha! I'm actually currently reading a book in a series that I read all the previous books in my native language, and like I'm reading the fourth book in English for the first time. So it's interesting, like to see the difference. But
Yeah.
yes,
That's
I will
so
do it
cool.
like with Ember in the Ashes because the fourth book wasn't translated. So I will read the last one also in English.
Got it.
Mhm.
I will go back a bit because actually there's a couple of comments about the POVs, like the multiple POVs, and I would also like to know what you guys thought of that. But a lot of you are also saying like it really keeps you reading if you have multiple POVs, and I 100% agree with this one. Also,
Yeah, I
this
love
one.
multiple POVs.
I mean, it depends. If it's 2 people, 3 people max, okay. But if you start like with 5, 6 point of views, like different point of views, and then you have like that time fuckery, going to the past, future, present, whatever,
Yes.
you're gonna lose. That's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
something I can
absolutely
easily
love that.
follow.
I feel like what's like where there's a book where there's so many points of view, and then you get to a book in the series and you're just hoping, oh my gosh, am I gonna hear from this one person? And maybe you will and maybe you won't. I kind of like that.
Mhm.
Like, I want them so much.
Yeah.
Also, this is a little heads up. We are indeed getting 3 perspectives next book.
Oh, good. Okay, I was gonna say I kind of wanted either Helene's perspective or Keenan's perspective.
Wait,
Also.
I'm in shock. What? Which is the fourth character? Helene, probably not.
Helena. It's gonna be Helena.
Yes, because I saw her on the cover. So
yeah,
like,
it's gonna be Helena, the
wow.
one with the mask. So Elias's
Mhm.
best friend. But you will also see a lot of some other characters in the rebellion and just the general. I mean, the general plot that starts this book is wanting to rescue Laya's brother. So that is definitely a big part of the next book. Obviously, because that's where the first book ends.
So I actually wanted to say about the POVs that like I don't have huge preference. Like I'm okay with 2 POVs, and like for me the POVs were nice, except that in the start I felt like Laya's POV and plot was really slow and boring. And then like in the middle I felt I didn't really loved Elias plot, but it was nice that like if you don't love one of the plots, you have the second plot like to keep you reading.
Yeah. Honestly, when like I'll mix a bit, I personally love Elias's storyline more. I don't know, I just really like his character. And for me, the third trial was by far my favorite. Remember when I told you that during my first read of this book, I actually screamed for 15 minutes straight after a certain trial? It was the third trial. Actually, at the moment that he says, like, I bring the blade down, I started screaming and I never stopped. And I was actually with one of my best friends at the time, and I just kept on sitting there, no, while sobbing a lot. So, yeah, I think that's still my favorite. But I agree with the fact that we really see the book through Laya and Elias's eyes. And I feel like we see a lot more world building of the academy from Elias's eyes, and then a lot more about the situation with the scholars as well from Laya's perspective, which I think really broadens the horizon of the book itself. But that's something that I really enjoyed. So what did you think about that one, Sasha? As long as you're still here, we're asking questions.
No, I am. I switched to my phone data, so it should be fine. I mean, I honestly don't have a preference from the two point of views. I really love them both. I love the way they were telling us everything that was happening, their way of thinking and brainstorming and whatever and experiencing things. I found them like believable as much as fantasy is believable, but I I was never like mad at them or annoyed or lost interest in anything. So I really enjoyed them both actually. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. But if I had to, if I had to pick, then
Yeah. And what
Yes,
would
like
that be?
for
Because
me,
it was like more intense?
or just because I love Elias. I don't know.
so for me, it's actually really surprising that I prefer the last point of view because again, I'm not really enjoying military
Mm,
like plots a lot, but I really
yeah.
love this plot and like his character. I really love this character. And yes, like for me, the only problem with multiple POVs is that you know that the characters in the POVs aren't going to die. And it's a little bit predictable that they are not going to die. And for me, like a lot of death in books is what makes books like interesting. I don't know, like not knowing what is going to happen to the characters. And now that like there is 3 POVs in the next book, probably the 3 people won't going to die. So it's like I just know it's like the main character is not going to die. So it's yes.
Is there a
That's my
book out
only.
there in which the main character dies?
Yes.
Yes,
Actually, yes.
I'm
Yes.
a very
Yeah?
popular series. Actually, I'm not going to say
I-
anything because I don't want
Yeah,
to spoil
I,
anything. But
I would say that's actually maybe part of the. I can agree with Jane because earlier this month I finished a series in which, even though you have so many POVs, it's anyone can die at any time, and main characters were dying. So that's why I came into this, and I was like, oh, we're safe. At least, and maybe not. I can't speak for book 2, and I'm sure like it gets more high stakes later. But at least for book 1, I felt confident that these 2 were not going to die.
Yes, like in the
Yeah.
end, when like Elias was supposed to be executed, it just was like, okay,
Yeah.
so when he's going to leave? Like it was really predictable that he is not going to die. So yes, that's my problem with multiple POVs. But accept it, I don't have any other problem.
Hmm.
I had the exact same thing with this one, as I just explained. I really enjoyed the third. So, what are all of your favorite trials? Because from what I heard, like there's a mixture of feelings.
The first one for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would go with the first one as well.
I don't think I loved any trial. Honestly, I don't know. Like the first one was the least annoying one for me because it was the first one. So I was like more. I don't know. Like it was okay. The second one was my like least favorite. Just boring. Like I just wanted to finish it. And the fourth one, I think it was the best plot wise, but it was like so predictable. But and also like I'm those kind of readers who would prefer Helena to die. Like seriously,
Mm.
because like she's going to die. You can't save all the characters. I love where like characters actually die in books. So like main characters and more important ones and not like the
Yeah.
other friends. I sound so mean, but
No, I agree with you, Jane. It's okay.
I also agree. Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes it high stakes when the author's willing
Yeah.
to kill off
yes.
at least a
Yes.
close to main character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel in general there's really a mixed feeling about the trials.
Can someone
Oh.
explain the efforts? I was confused with that. Maybe you guys can help me understand what was going on with those.
So I don't know if I'm pronouncing anything correctly or incorrectly, but I've been saying Ifrit, but that's probably just my fault. I think they are some type of jinn. And I think I'm not sure if we'll get a lot more of this in the coming books. So I'm not gonna. I can't say anything about that. But I feel like it's something similar to the sort of the scholars and then the masks. So there was a lot of like I feel like there's a lot like a big difference between like races in this book as well. There's a lot of discrimination, especially also if you look at Laia. So I think they are like a special sort of race or species, whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm not gonna like I don't know the right word. But I think that they are very angry at certain things that have happened in the past.
Okay.
At least that's what I got from it.
Okay, because that maybe that aided to my confusion because I feel like there wasn't a lot of explanation as to like the history of them or where they came from or what they are. They just kind of like showed up and people were through the characters saying like, oh, these are myths, these are mystical things. Like because I kind of wanted in the beginning, maybe even I know her family died in the beginning, but maybe just a little bit more of settings. Her going through with her family, listening to maybe her grandmother's tales of like these myths and these legends. So that when they showed up later, it wasn't just like, oh, here is a mystical creature that has been here the whole time. I'm like, wait, where'd they come from?
Yes, there wasn't a build up. They just showed up and like, okay, there is another creature.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't give it like 5 stars because I was missing that essence, I would say, essence of of their beliefs and creatures, magical things.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it is pronounced Ifrit then.
Okay.
I tried.
For, and I mean, Steff is a lot more.
Oh, good to know.
So there you go, Steff.
Right.
Also, first and foremost, yay for Dave Bat. But yeah, I this is also what I gathered, but I'm not sure if like the mythology is the same throughout multiple series because of course a author can give whatever swing to it they want. Yeah.
So is this not something that's just in this world? Is this like coming?
Yeah, it's a general thing. Yeah, it is actually
okay.
Jin and Ifrit are a lot of the times they are featured in Desert Vibe books that have some type of mythology, so hence why I've encountered them a ton.
Got it.
But yeah.
So then, in a way, what is it possible that it was kind of depending on us already having known about these myths and legends so that when they show up, it's like, okay, I already have a pre-existing knowledge of this being part of regular folklore. Because I didn't even know that. So when they showed up, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, but that's a non-finished debate. Like a lot of people are like, don't use vocabulary we don't understand, or like don't make your character speak another language without translating it, etc., etc. So like some people say you should explain everything that's in your books. Some say no, it's like common knowledge. You just need to look into it on Google or whatever. So I feel you're like not understanding what it was because if I didn't know about them outside from that book, I would not have gotten it from the book. So
yes, I also was a little bit confused.
Yeah, I wasn't purely because of the fact that I've read so many stories involving them, but I think it is not something that's regularly known like Greek gods, for example. So I think there should have at least been, I mean, would have been very easy to introduce them at the very least. Or at least, I mean, Elias has a lot of, that's what also something I would like to talk about, like the conversation he has with the augur. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, he I feel like they could have at least explained a bit more from someone who's almost all-knowing. He could have given so much more depth and structure to the world, and that is something that I would have liked.
But maybe like I'm not rereading the series, so I don't know what's coming. But if I was the author and I wouldn't like give you more information, that's because these creatures or whatever are gonna have a bigger role in the future, and you want to surprise people, and so that's something. I'm not an author, but that's something I could do. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think this sort of follows well with what you were saying as well.
Yeah.
And also there is like a limit to how much info you can put in one book. Like if she puts too much info, it can be really like
Info
just
dump.
too much.
Yeah.
So yes, like sometimes it's good like to put more knowledge in other books. So yes, like it seems that we actually is going to learn more about the creatures like in the second and the fourth book. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the second book, from what I remember, the world really opens up in the second, and especially the third book. The third book is so jam-packed with
Oh.
so much more myth and lore from what I remember, because I think I read the third book in 2018, so that's also quite a while ago already. But it definitely does foreshadow for a large degree. Like, I have difficulty talking about this book, and in the fact that I don't want to say anything that is going to spoil
Mhm.
anything. So I'm trying to not say too much about it, so it doesn't ruin, hopefully, the fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Hmm.
So shall we quickly, like, is there something that you guys would like to talk about? Because I would like to talk about the conversations that Elias has with the augur.
Go for it.
Who is the augur? I'm sorry, I didn't read it in
They-
English.
I'm not sure what they're called, but basically, I'm not sure if this quote is even directly in your edition, but he's basically the one who tells Elias not to run away when he wants to run away.
Ah, no, like the people
Predictor.
who,
Yeah,
yes, those who sees the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In Hebrew, they
Basically-
called the future like how to say it? Like
Future
yes,
seer.
now I understand.
like a
Okay,
seer.
a nice name.
Yeah, I think they call him the augur. I think he's
Yeah.
also the one who
When you
basically-
say ogre, I see the guy eating children.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
But he's basically the guy who also tells Elias, like, you're an ember in the ashes, Elias Venturius, something along those lines.
Mhm.
Also, just quickly, don't worry, I am not spoiling anything. The only spoilers we'll be talking about is for this book, because
mhm.
it's a live show for the first book. So.
Yes, logical.
So, what did you guys think of our future guy?
So I actually really loved the part, and I really loved like the part where he told him, like to Alias, that he's going to get a real freedom only if he stays. And then it's actually happened. Like in some way, it's actually happened. So it was like really cool that it wasn't like how you would think a freedom will be, but like I really loved how everything built up, and like it actually went to the place where Elias felt freedom before like he died. So like I really loved it, and I don't know, like I loved this aspect. I loved the fantasy aspect in all the book. I really loved it. Yes, I'm trying to think. Like, I will probably think about more things that I want to say.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that kind of like predictions or whatever, because whenever I read one, I'm like, okay, this could happen, this could happen, blah blah blah. And sometimes you feel the main character being like completely lost because they're looking for what it means, and because of that they do something wrong or they do something they're not supposed to, and they're stressed and etc etc. So I was just waiting for what would happen, but I liked it as much as I just didn't care about it, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's my point of view on that little part.
I'm in the same boat as Sasha, I think.
There's an interesting. I actually didn't know that it was part of Roman history. So if you know more about this, then please do share that, because I'm not completely sure. I do know quite a bit of Roman history because I actually visited Romania a couple of years ago, but I don't know everything, of course. Also, this, if we can say a bit of, he is a very big character still later on in the book, so it's very interesting. He's a very interesting character, but he also creeps me out.
Yes,
So
it was
badly.
creepy.
He really reminded me of Death, just like a cloaked, hooded figure, as in Death.
Yeah.
Was that just
So-
me, or
No.
No,
same.
I also felt like he was creepy, but I actually really love this character. Another character that I was actually like felt he was really creepy was like the guy in the end with the like with Elias' mother and like their plan. I don't know how to call him in English, but like
yeah,
the main
let me
the
look it up.
guy who like made some kind of plan with Elias' mother and the two other boys who are against Elias and Helena. So
Oh,
like yes,
The
this
Death something.
Remember
yes,
the
the
name.
deaf something. So he was like actually really creepy, and he felt like more of a threat to me than the future guy.
Mhm, mhm.
The future guy just felt to me like he's creepy, but I felt like he has good intentions, so I wasn't really creeped out
the
from
Nightbringer.
him.
Yes, the Nightbringer.
Yes,
Thank
Yeah.
you, you
Yes.
two in the chat.
Yeah, I was actually checking out whether I was not spoiling anything, but it is indeed the Nightbringer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Also in Hebrew, he called the Nightbringer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So apparently, I think this is then for Roman
Okay.
history.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me a bit of then. Is that the same in English? Nosferatu?
Mm.
No, I'm
Which
saying
one
that
is
wrong.
the Empire?
I meant the guy, the Russian. I can't remember. There's in Russian mythology. There's someone who also predicts the future, but
Wait, I should know that one.
Do it.
Yes, me too. But I can't remember anything like this.
yeah, he also reads minds.
Mm, predict.
Yeah, that's it. It's Nostradamus. Thank you. I actually meant
Oh.
that one. I'm not even sure if that's Russian. I might be completely off the rails here. Sorry.
I tried maybe to ask my boyfriend because we both Russians, but like I also like nobody can think about.
Probably my fault.
Yes.
I have no idea.
I am not sure. I really don't know.
Is it
There
the
are people like this in every
Lions?
single mythology, I would say, like people predicting
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. And always
Mhm.
like they're gonna predict it without telling you like in details what's gonna
Mhm.
happen. And you're just like,
Yeah.
why are you even telling me this then? Like just shut up. Like, yeah.
I think this is an interesting question because I
Mhm.
feel like we'll probably all have strong feelings. I hope you do, at least.
I'm thinking about how I'm feeling.
Does anyone want to start off, or shall I just?
You guys
Sorry.
go first. I'll follow your lead.
I think the most telling scene in this book is where she basically goes to his cell and explain his story and her story towards him. And at one point, I remember reading it first time and actually thought, wait, is she actually going to say, like, I love you, or at least acknowledge the fact that they're related? And the only thing she seems to be doing is resenting him for, one, ruining part of her career, and then also her father, who is favoring him over her. And I just felt incredibly bad for Elias. And I just didn't understand why she would be like this.
So
And I also think it's a toxic household in general. His grandfather is a mess.
yes,
She's
that's
a
of
mess.
course.
It is.
So now when I'm thinking about it, I think that I didn't really like the character of the villain, like of Caris, because she didn't felt it sounds bad, but like she didn't felt really evil, like genuinely. I read a lot of villain characters, and like I have a lot of really favorite villain characters, and I felt like her character just was evil because she needed to be evil, and nothing really felt genuine for me. Like it was nice to see her point of view and her past, like when she told Elias everything, and it made me feel a little bit like it made everything a little bit more realistic. But when I compare her to other villain characters from other books that I read, definitely one of my least favorite ones, like in terms of how everything, like, again, felt real to me. And like, I don't have a problem that she was evil because she's the villain and like she's supposed to be evil. But like, yes, I usually look more on the plot and not on the characters. So that's why like I'm thinking this sort of way. But yes, like just didn't really like her character.
Yeah, I would join you on that. Like, I didn't feel like she was a villain here. She was hurt or scared, or she was supposed to show something, to prove something, whatever. I didn't feel like, yeah, she wasn't evil. I feel,
No.
I don't know. Maybe I want to read more about her and see where where everything is coming from, because I feel like we just got like a few vague ideas, but I think there is more to that. And yeah, I want to understand why she's like this, because for me there is a reason deeper
Yeah,
than we think. Yeah.
same. I feel like I need to know more of her motivations because it wasn't like I was just kind of having to accept that she's just evil, but no one is just born evil. Evil is made. So why
Yeah.
I just need more information before I can make a decision.
This is also an interesting point. I will come back to the other comment that's above this in a bit, but this might be part of it.
Mm.
But
That's what I thought at one point.
honestly do not remember. I think when looking at her character, I feel like everything she did up until the point she is at is to try and get approval from her father, because I feel like that is everything that she wants to do. So I feel like Elias was an accident, and not not an unconsensual one. I am not trying to say that it was consensual or anything, but I feel like it for her it really was another disappointing thing to tell her father. And I think that's why she hates him so much, because everything she wanted from her father, he's getting, like the support, the love-ish sort of love, whatever, how much you want to call that love. But everything, like all the validation that she wanted from her father, Elias is getting from him. And I think that is also a huge reason why she hates him so much. And also, like, he's so good at everything. Like, he's a good fighter. He's a nice person. And I think that she, instead of feeling motherly and being proud of him, she's actually feeling resentment, because she, like, he is everything that he does, gets everything that she wanted.
Yeah, and imagine telling your dad the truth about what happened. Let's say it was like a rape, and seeing how he treats his grandson, like above her own, like his own daughter, who's suffering from that. How would you feel? Like,
yes.
Can I add to that? Because I, like most of the story was centered around Blackcliff and like this academy, but I don't feel like we see the families or like the people who come to support the trials and everything, but we don't know enough about the what's it called? They're just their society. What's the name of their? Not the we have the scholars, and then what do you call? I can't think of
masks.
Yeah, or the mask, or like they're just their society in general. Like, where are the values, and how does this, is this a very specific and extreme situation? Because it seems like they value this training and like these extreme negative situations, but where does that come from?
Here we go. Marshals.
Marshals, yes. Like, why is this out of the norm? Like, I don't know that it's out of the norm and that this is considered extreme, because I don't know enough about their culture in general.
Yes, those the things that I wish that we will learn more, like in the future books.
That's what I'm hoping for too.
Yeah, I think we will. I mean, it would make sense that we will.
Yeah, I think this one it's a good statement. Like, she's trying to survive in a cruel world, because if you like the couple of the couple of bits we get from the like Blackcliff in general and the way that they are put up to being masks is all very, very rough. Especially also when they get there and they don't get food and water for like 24 hours and they're like put into a corral mostly. But yeah, I think it's a very, very cruel world, especially who even thinks of making them actual masks and using a type of like metal that sticks to your face.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yes. I love this aspect that there is like masks. It was cool. Yeah.
All right. I wanted to quickly go back to this one because this one I think is also a big part of the book. The which is also something I don't like. I don't like love triangles or quartets in this instance.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think on this one?
I hated it. I'm just gonna say that's the other reason why I didn't give it 4 stars, because I was like, too much is too much. At one point, I was like, no. So I truly didn't care. I didn't feel like it was necessary or whatsoever. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. If I really had to choose, I truly don't know who I would put together, because I feel like they're just meant to be together because they were like the main characters in the story. There is no real, like, I don't feel there is a real connection, a real like whatever that would make sense.
Yes.
It's convenience and circumstance. It's not because of actual connection. Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
like I would have liked
exactly.
to see no kind of romance in this book, and then maybe in book 2 it starts to slowly get established because now they have a history.
Yes, I would prefer it
But
like this.
Actually, the whole, I feel like the relationship between Elias and Helena took up so much of the book for me, and those were my least favorite parts. I was like, I don't
also
care.
for me.
I don't care. We have bigger fish to fry right now.
Yes,
mean,
I
I
also like all the relationship between Elias and Helena felt really predictable, everything. And really, like, you just know that she's in love with him, that something is going on. And it took too much. Like, I agree. I wanted to see less.
Yeah, and she's a warrior, you know what I mean? Why did the author feel like they needed to give that as a weakness? You know what I mean? Like, she didn't need to feel anything or to actually show it or whatever. I mean, it can happen. Sometimes you cannot control it and whatever. But here it felt like a weakness. And I did not like that. Why do you have like to give her like a weakness?
Yes.
Same goes for Laia though, because I'm not sure if I actually clicked on that comment, but someone said they really liked the determination and sort of the, let me see if I can find the comment. They liked the way that she grew into the book. Let's see if I
Yes.
can find it.
Laia?
Yes, I agree with it. I
Laia,
felt
yeah.
like the start of Laia plot was slow, but like i- she had a real character development. Like I really felt it, and sometimes, like a lot of times, I don't really feel it in books. Like I feel like suddenly the character is brave, but here I actually saw the progress, which was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Did you find a comment?
I am looking for it. I can't find it, but I 100% agree. She had such an amazing. Oh, here it is. I think. Yeah. I feel like she has such a great story arc, and I feel like in the upcoming books, it only gets better, honestly. And I'm just really excited. Also, before we end in about like 10ish minutes or something, I do want to know what you guys think will be upcoming for the next books.
I
I'll
actually
not say anything.
I actually want to say something about this book, that I felt that all the friends characters, like all the boys, I didn't like even knew them. I felt like everyone are the same. I couldn't connect to most of the friends like in their group. I just felt like everyone was the same. I couldn't understand which one was which, except the two boys who are against like Elena and Elias. But all the friends just felt all of them the same to me. Yes, I wanted to say that, like, to see what you think about it.
Yeah, I couldn't really keep them apart either.
Yes.
The only one I vividly remembered from the first time was Marcus, and I hate Marcus. So I think he is the prime example of what a mask should be, or at least what the Empire wants a mask to be. So basically without feeling and complete and utter asshole. Because like there's a bit of his humanity shining through after he killed his brother, but
that's the only part of the book that I almost cried when he told Elias how he felt when he killed his brother, and I didn't like expect. I was really surprised for myself, but I actually almost cried when I read. Like, I really love to see characters that are really one way, and like to see a little bit of something different in them. So yes, maybe I love his character. I think that I love his character. I love bad characters. I really like, not really I hate his character and like what he's doing, but I love his character more than Elia's mother. Like,
he's well done.
Yes, he felt really well done to me.
Yeah, I agree. Also, this was also on my list of wanting to talk about, so thank you for bringing this up. Helena's powers.
Again, I feel like I don't know. I don't have enough to go on. It felt very random, but I'm assuming we're going to get a lot more explanation later. So it's kind of like just sitting on the back burner, like, okay, I'm waiting.
Actually not against it. Like, I don't have any opinion about it right now.
No, as you said, Steff, we didn't get enough information about the society, about the way they work and their story, etc. So I was like, where is it coming from? But no strong opinion about it. Yeah.
Actually, I honestly don't remember if we'll get more of it. I'm guessing we will. But when I was reading it this time, actually, because I completely forgot about it, I'm thinking that it will probably be, maybe she'll be like part Ifrit or something along those lines. So she'll be connected to another, like something else there. I feel like there's a lot of connections made. That said, I do have to say that I don't like all of the connections in this book because I feel like they're too easily made so that everything is included, because Laia is linked to the scholars and the rebellion, and then Elias is linked to both Blackcliff but also the tribes, and then Helena is like linked to the masks and maybe something else, and I feel like there's connections everywhere that will probably all come together at some point, but I felt like that was just too much at times.
Yeah, there was a lot of convenience in here that I especially in the beginning, just like between how fast it went from she's running from the masks and then how she finds a rebellion. It just felt very fast and convenient.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably. Yep. Probably. But honestly, I don't even remember. So we'll probably be talking about this more in upcoming live shows. This one's funny. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't like him. So he does heinous things. That said, though, I am also curious what you thought of the rebellion in general, because there's also an element of betrayal there. And I also, just to quickly add, I want to know what you guys think of Cook, because I feel like she is such an interesting character, and there's so much more backstory.
She's my favorite character of the book.
Yeah,
that's my favorite character. I agree.
Yes, I love her so much.
And like, I have some theories of where she's sort of like coming from, but I have no idea.
I really loved her character, especially because she actually has a past with like Laia's parents. So she felt really important for the plot. And I really want like to know where she came from, like everything. Like, definitely she was my favorite character. Every time that like I saw her, I just was so happy. Yes, I loved her. Like, really, really loved her. And also the maid, she was cute. With like without the eye, those maid.
Chicken girl.
Remember. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I thought that Cook was related to Laia, to be honest.
Ooh, so that's interesting theory.
Like maybe an aunt or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like her mom's sister or her dad's sister or whoever. Like I thought,
So
yeah.
I actually don't think so when I'm thinking about it. But I don't have any other like idea of who she can be.
I want to know what your theory is. Actually, like my
Yes.
theory is not that they're related, but I think that they probably have like they had a huge role in Elia and her family's like her brother and sister upbringing. So I feel like they could have been a nanny or something along those lines who was also linked to sort of the rebellion.
Mhm.
Also, just to jump in,
Yeah, that's what I thought at the beginning, but I was like, is that even possible?
maybe her biological mother then.
So I personally
Yeah.
don't think she related. Like I don't think she ever met Laia before. But like that's my idea. I think that maybe she like really related to the other characters. Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure if the connection is like a blood connection.
Mm.
I think like her character was connected in some other way. But yes, we will see. I really loved her.
Like Carrie's sister. Right. That
Well, that
would
would
be
be horrible if you
wild.
did that to your sister, honestly.
Yes. No, so we know that she like came to Blackcliff like later. So
Yeah.
she's probably not her sister, but we can't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yes.
Also, I wanted to go back to this one because we talked a bit, like I touched upon the rebellion, and I'm curious what you guys think of the rebellion in general. And also, I'm curious who you think the traitor is.
Hmm. So I'm
I am
actually,
saying nothing.
yes, like I usually don't really put too much thought about like what is going to happen while I'm not reading the book because like I don't want to spoil myself. And most of the time I'm right, like I can guess plot twists, which is like sad for me because I love plot twists. So like I'm doing to myself spoilers, but like I just didn't want to think about who is the rebellion because I just didn't like want to know, but I don't know.
But wait, there were people who were reading minds, right? Or am I mixing?
Yes,
So maybe there is no traitor. Maybe they read it in someone's mind. Like,
that's like a
Mm,
really good explanation. That can be it.
possibility. Yeah.
Like, yes,
I mean,
that's
that
really,
would be
really logical.
super convenient that you have that many people in that castle. In that,
Mhm,
I don't remember where they were, and that they don't automatically read everyone's mind. I
mhm,
mean, that would be nonsense.
mhm,
Which I think added to the reason why I was struggling with trying to understand why like the Ifrits and all these other things were considered mythical when you already have a magical element that's being accepted by their society. Like, oh yes, we have mind readers, but magical creatures? No, that's not a thing. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
mhm.
This is also a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will not say anything. The only thing I will say is enjoy. I had a blast, honestly. So
Yes, I'm
Esmay,
actually
you
really excited
finished?
for the second one. I feel like it will be better.
I think you will. From what I've heard, I think you will enjoy the second one better. So far, when I look at the ones I've read, so I've read the first to the third one.
That's what I was gonna
The third one is my favorite one so far. So I feel like that one actually it opens so many doors, and it's like there's so many things where you're like, ah, right, of course. Other than that, I will say, have fun. Because I
For
really
me,
don't want to spoil
actually,
anything.
mhm.
I think it could definitely surprise you a lot. Like I saw Naomi also mentioning it. Like you'll be shocked. I saw it coming, sadly, but I would have been shocked if like Jane also mentioned, I'm not thinking about it. You'll be shocked. So no thinking, just reading.
For me, actually, the first book in a series is usually the book that I enjoy the most. So, like, almost always. But I feel like in this series, it will be like the opposite and it will just get better. At least I hope so.
For me, it definitely did. So I hope it will also be the same for you.
Mhm.
Shall we, as a closing, because we're nearing the 1 hour mark, shall we talk a bit about what we expect or want from the second book?
Mhm.
I would
That's really
expect
interesting.
Laia and Elias to go try to find Laia's brother.
Mhm.
I see Elias helping her, and then they're gonna have like to face Marcus at some point. And I would like to know where Ellen's or Elena, what she's gonna do. Like, is she really gonna help Marcus and follow like the oath she made or whatever, or if she gonna be more on Elias and Laia's side? So that's what I think would happen. I mean,
Is that also what you would want from the second book?
I no, that's what I would expect. Like, it would make sense that we're gonna follow that kind of thing. But what I want more, like, I want to know more about the societies, how they arrived there, what's the system, why masks, why everything. I would like to understand more the world building and the way everything works. That's what
Mhm.
I would want for the book, from the book. Yeah.
Same. I need the same thing.
So I personally was really disappointment today when I realized that there is going to be like a fourth POV because I don't really love Elena. But like I would really want to see her really mean and cruel and try and like I want to see her tries to kill Elias because she have to. Like something with her character is that she's really like she's doing what she told. So I feel like because of her character, she's supposed to be she's supposed to do what Marcus will told her. So like I feel that it will be more realistic if she actually tries, I don't know, to kill Elias and actually to kill him. So I want like to see it like a really intense something like this. But except it, I don't know. Like I want to see more of the cook and more of the other maid. I love both
Izzy, I
of their
think her name is.
characters.
I saw it in the comments. Someone mentioned Izzy.
Easy.
Like
Yep.
Izzy,
the
yes,
connection
yes,
between
I see
Cook and
that.
Izzy, and I agree with that comment that it's very interesting. So I agree with that one, Jane.
Yes, yes. So I would
Jane
like.
just wants our main character to die, so it can be high stakes. You know what would be a great plot twist if in the end Helen ended up like gaining the values or understanding where Elias and Lai are coming from, and then everyone dies, and Helen ends up like bringing to fruition the freedom and just changing everything. That would be great.
Yeah.
I
But I don't
sorry,
see that
I had
coming.
to laugh about this one. This is so true. I'm just sitting here going like, just you wait and see. Sorry, you were saying something, Sasha.
I was just saying I don't expect Laia and Elias to die
I don't expect
anytime
it
Me
either.
soon.
neither. Yes.
But that would
Maybe
have
a
like
lot.
been not nice, but good to add to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't really know what else to expect from the second book.
Yes, I
I
hope it
can't
will
keep
be
my face straight. I'm sorry. I can't keep my face straight. I'm trying. Honestly, there's a lot of things where I'm just sitting here going, do I remember this? No. But there's
Yeah.
also a couple of things where I'm like, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this.
Yes, you probably remember the really important stuff.
Yeah. One thing I can say is it is not cliche. At least I didn't think it was cliche.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Good to know. Yes.
Luckily, I am not the only one. But yeah, I'm honestly like for this, like the next, of course I know sort of the main like things that will happen in the second book, but I've forgotten so much about this that I'm just very curious to see what the order was of things happening, and also what I've forgotten, because there's so much that that I will. Also, I think I'm not sure this is a spoiler, but I think this is a little bit of what you can expect in book 2, which is saying absolutely nothing. So
like the first one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love
Also-
betrayal.
Also furious about the blacksmith. Curious. I love that one. Very curious about him. 100%. Yeah. That said, did you guys have anything more that you would like to talk about? Because I mean, I could keep talking about this book, but
We got most of it.
yeah.
I feel like it just made me more curious to know what is going to happen, because like again I felt like it just the start. Like there is going to be more intense things.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that's 100% true.
Did you
Like
cry?
I said, what?
Did you cry at what point in the second book or third book?
Or in the first one.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while. I actually didn't cry this time around, but I cried the first time that I read the first book, so I'm not sure if I would cry again, because I kind of know what's coming out. Like, but I don't know whether that was book 2 or book 3. So I'm pretty sure I cried multiple times throughout reading the first 3. I'm just not sure which book it was in. So I hope that answers your question.
Sure. I was just curious.
Yeah. I mean, I really, if it isn't clear yet, I really enjoyed it, because I actually, what all of this started was I was talking to Jane about, we wanted to buddy read a book, and then Jane said, well, I want to read An Ember in the Ashes, and I was like, I still need to read the 4th one. We could read it together. And then we were like, wait, we could turn this into a read along, because a lot of people should read this. And then these two, well, no,
I never know.
I tried so hard. Yeah, there we go. These two lovely people joined us. I try.
Yeah.
This is completely taking away from my point. So what I wanted to say was, I'm so excited to see what you guys will continue to think about this book. That is mostly my point, in a very unelaborate way.
Yeah. Cannot wait to continue with it, to be honest.
Yes.
Like when I finished the first book, I was like, okay, can I pick up the second one right now? I was really not expecting
2
to
days.
enjoy it that much. Yeah.
I'm so glad you did. I mean, we kind of have the same reading taste a bit, so I was hoping you
Yeah,
would.
but after DNFing We Hunt the Flame, I was scared. So
Fair
I was like, so yeah.
Fair point. Do let me know. Just send me a DM, Naomi, which scene that was, because I want to know if that's in the second book now. But don't say anything here because of spoilers. I am so glad you did. I feel like this readathon, a lot of people are reading it. And it was also, I'm not sure if any of you have participated in Desertathon or in Steff's May the Force Read With You a-thon? Is that the word? Or
read with you, read-a-thon. Yes.
Yeah. That was a mouthful, but I think I managed. But it was actually perfect to start this month. So thank you guys so much for reading the first book with us, and I hope that everyone will. So far, from what I've seen, everyone at least enjoyed it, apart from Steff.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Steff.
Sorry.
I really hope that like the
If
second
you loved
book
it, don't read my review online.
no, like I really want like to see a really good plot in the second book, because I'm also more a plot-driven reader. So I really hope, Steff, you will enjoy the second book.
I hope so too.
Yes, I really hope.
Yeah.
I'm switching over. I switched over to audio halfway through the book, so I feel like that's kind of helping.
Audio is really nice. I can recommend the audiobook. That one's also really nice. That said, though, we are not completely sure yet when the dates will be for the reading sprints and the live show for next month, because we're going into a couple of kinks with like new jobs, moving house, time zones, that kind of thing. But it will all be clear. It will both be on Discord below this video, below all of our announcement videos, and also on Twitter. So I'm pretty sure you will see it at some point on either of those. channels. So we'll let you know as soon as possible, as soon as we know, especially the reading sprints. But expect the reading sprints somewhere around the 12th, and the live show somewhere around the 27th, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yep.
I think those were the dates we're talking about. We just have to figure out the correct time. So I think that is everything from us for today.
Yes.
Also, I'm not completely sure on which channels the sprints are in the live show next month.
So the reading sprints will be on Sasha's channel, and the live show on the second book will be on my channel.
Cool.
Awesome. And yeah, I think that is it from us for now, and we'll see you hopefully during the sprints, otherwise during the live show next month. So thank you all so much for being here.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.